Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel for another massive breakdown. So grab a coffee because we have a lot to cover. And Tuesday, July 14 is going to be a total mess, just a complete disaster for so many people. Let's start with Abe Carver. So Abe is going to make a massive confession to Theo, and it is not a good one. We are hearing that Abe is going to sit Theo down and admit something terrible. He made a pact with EJ DiMera. Yeah, you heard that right. Abe and EJ working together. And the pact was to push Theo out of DiMera Enterprises. Just completely shove him out the door. But why? Why would Abe do this? Abe is supposed to be the good guy. He is the moral compass of this entire town. And now he is conspiring with a DiMera to screw over his own son. It just blows my mind. So Theo is going to be crushed, completely blindsided. Because Theo has been learning a lot of family lore lately. He knows his mother Lexie was a DiMera. He knows the DiMera side of the family is basically a den of vipers. Stefano DiMera was his grandfather, and Stefano was a monster. So Theo expects the DiMeras to be shady. But Abe, his dad, the former police commissioner and mayor, that is a knife in the back. And Theo has been through so much. He just got his mom back from the dead thanks to Doctor Rolf's crazy serum. And now Lexie is dying again. Her health is failing rapidly. So Theo is already losing his mother for the second time. And right in the middle of this horrible grief, his dad drops this bomb. It is just cruel. Will this cause a major wedge between their father-son relationship? Probably. I mean, how do you trust your dad after he teams up with EJ DiMera to ruin your career? But let's talk about EJ. Because EJ is frantic. He is running around Salem like a chicken with its head cut off. Tuesday's episode shows EJ desperately trying to find Johnny. And EJ has a million reasons to be panicking right now. First of all, Brady Black and Steve Johnson are closing in. They are hunting him. Black patches on the case. And they know that Johnny is covering for EJ, which he totally is. So Brady and Steve are hoping they can corner Johnny. They want to convince this kid to throw his dad under the bus. And honestly, Johnny should, because EJ is a nightmare. EJ might be looking for Johnny just to warn him. Like, hey son, don't talk to the cops. Don't talk to Brady. Keep your mouth shut. Because if Johnny cracks, EJ goes to prison for a very long time. Or maybe EJ is looking for Johnny for another reason entirely. Because there is a massive situation happening with Kristen. So EJ just found out that Kristen reached out to Sydney DiMera. Yes, Sydney. Sammy's daughter. Kristen is trying to plan a Paris's getaway with her. And EJ is furious. He is seeing red because Kristen is a psychopath. She literally tried to have Johnny killed by Sophia Choi. And now she is targeting Sydney. So EJ is planning to send Kristen away. And by send away, I mean he is probably going to have her kidnapped and thrown in a dungeon. Because that is how DiMeras solve their problems. So EJ might be trying to find Johnny to give him a heads up. Like, hey, your aunt is crazy. She is going after your sister, and I am going to handle it. It is just nonstop chaos at the DiMera mansion right now. But let's look at Johnny's side of things. Johnny is reeling. He is just falling apart because his dad has asked him to do the unthinkable. EJ is forcing Johnny to help cover up the Coriseal scandal. The tainted drugs, the arsenic. Holly Jonas was poisoned, and EJ framed her to make it look like she took it on purpose. And Destiny died. Real people are dying because of DiMera Pharmaceuticals. And Johnny knows it. And the guilt is eating him alive. Johnny is a good guy. He is not like EJ. He doesn't want to be a criminal. But he is trapped. And it gets even worse because Chanel is sick. His beautiful pregnant wife has breast cancer. And there is a very real possibility that EJ's pharmaceutical mess is somehow tied to Chanel's struggles. Or at least the stress of all this EJ drama is making it impossible for Johnny to be the husband Chanel needs. So Chanel's life is hanging in the balance. The baby's life is hanging in the balance. She is trying on blonde wigs because she is terrified of losing her hair to chemo. And Johnny is trying to be strong for her. But how can he when his dad is dragging him into a criminal conspiracy? Johnny's entire life has been ripped apart. His loving family is being torn apart by EJ's greed and arrogance. So the big question for Tuesday is whether Johnny will finally snap. Will he say enough is enough? If EJ asks for one more favor, one more lie, will Johnny just explode? I really hope he does. I hope Johnny goes straight to Brady and Steve and spills everything. Let EJ rot in jail. Johnny needs to focus on Chanel and his unborn baby. He cannot carry the weight of the DiMera empire anymore. And speaking of Chanel, she is going to spend some time with her mom on Tuesday. Paulina and Chanel are going to lean on each other. And they really need this. It sounds like they are going to have a massive rant session, just completely venting about their husbands. And boy, do they have a lot to complain about. Because Paulina is going through hell right now. Abe has been completely distracted by Lexie coming back from the dead. Paulina actually stepped aside and moved out so Abe could be with Lexie. But now Lexie is dying again. And Abe is a mess. And Paulina is just stuck in this awful limbo, watching the man she loves grieve another woman. So Paulina is frustrated. She is angry. She is sad. And Chanel is right there with her. Chanel is dealing with cancer. She is pregnant. And her husband is wrapped up in a mafia-style cover-up with his evil dad. So these two women are just going to let it all out. They are going to bash the men in their lives. And honestly, it is probably going to be very therapeutic for them. Sometimes you just need to sit with your mom, drink some tea, and complain about how useless men can be. But they aren't the only ones connecting on Tuesday, because we are also going to see Julie Williams and Marlena Evans spend some time together. And grab your tissues, guys, because this is going to be emotional. Julie and Marlena have always been friends. They have decades of history. But right now, they share a very specific, very painful bond. They are both widows. They have both lost their absolute soulmates. Julie lost Doug, and Marlena lost John. And the grief is just suffocating. Salem is not the same without Doug and John. And these two women are trying to navigate a world that feels completely empty. So they are going to find solace in each other's company. They are going to sit together and talk about the men they loved. And it is going to be beautiful and heartbreaking all at the same time. And Marlena really needs a friend right now because she is going through absolute psychological torture. Stefano DiMera is dead, but he is still haunting her. He left her that creepy chessboard, the missing pawn, the hidden key. Marlena is terrified. She is paranoid. She thinks Stefano is still playing games with her from beyond the grave. And without John there to protect her, she feels completely vulnerable. So having Julie there is going to be a huge comfort. Julie is strong. She is a survivor. She has been through every tragedy imaginable, and she is still standing. So Julie can remind Marlena of how strong she is. She can tell Marlena not to let Stefano win. Days of Our Lives spoilers indicate some tense moments along with feel-good fun, so it'll certainly be an episode fans won't want to miss.